Hey everyone, welcome back to 4th grade social studies. So we are on page 193 in your social studies book, so go ahead and turn there. So we talked about in our last lesson about the sinking of the Lusitania and how it angered Americans that 128 people died that were Americans on a ship that was not a warship. It was just traveling from New York to England and was torpedoed by a German submarine. And we also talked about how Germany said that they didn't want America to join the war, so they said, okay, we're not going to shoot down any more ships that are not warships, that they were just passenger ships. Okay? So that's what Germany promised. But let's pick up today and find out what happens next. So on page 193, America goes over there. America declares war. Early in 1917, the German government broke its promise to the United States. It announced that Germany would begin unrestricted submarine warfare again. Germany knew that this would anger America, but the Germans also believed that this was the only way they could win the war. So right now, they weren't able to gain any ground on the Allies, so they said, okay, we're just going to break our promise to America, and this is how we're going to win the war. This is going to be our strategy that's going to help us win. The German government also sent a telegram to Mexico. The telegram asked Mexico to join the war on Germany's side. Germany feared that war would break out with the United States. It wanted Mexico to fight for them against the Americans. In return, Germany offered to give the states of Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona back to Mexico. Interesting. British spies found out about this telegram and they sent the message to the United States. Americans were outraged. President Wilson realized that the time for keeping peace was over. On April 2nd, 1917, he went before Congress and asked for a declaration of war on Germany. The world must be made safe for democracy, the president said in his speech. All right, so let's look at that picture. It says President Woodrow Wilson addressing Congress. So the president cannot by himself declare war on another country. He has to get the approval of all the members of Congress to do this. Okay, so that is what he's doing. He's asking for permission to send America into the Great War, World War I. Okay? So he's called the commander-in-chief because he is the head of the military, but there are checks and balances to make sure that the president doesn't just put us into every war that he wants. And so that's why Congress has the power to declare war instead of the president. Okay? So on page 194, 4 days later, the United States declared war. Americans began to prepare. The American army was small, but many more men wanted to fight. America used a draft system. In a draft, local boards on each state chose men to go into military service. More than 4 million Americans served in World War I. A songwriter named George Cohan wrote a song about the American soldiers going to war. Over There became a very popular song, and it was played and sung all over the nation. Its brave lyrics and lively tune made it seem cheerful. The Yanks are coming, said the song, and we won't come back till it's over there. Many of the men who sang this song never came back. More than 115,000 American soldiers were killed in that war. It's real sad. All right, let's continue. American attitudes. The war brought out strong patriotic feelings in most Americans. Some still opposed going to war, but the most common attitude among Americans was eagerness to help with the war effort. President Wilson formed a special committee to give Americans information. Posters and ads help make people excited about supporting the United States. Information like this is called propaganda. And there's a propaganda poster over to this side. Our caption says, propaganda poster advertising Liberty bonds, which people bought from the government to help with the war effort. So propaganda is designed to make people think or feel a certain way. War propaganda also gave many Americans negative attitudes towards all the Germans. Posters called the German people Huns. Huns were an ancient tribe known for their cruelty in war. The name was used to promote fear and hatred of our enemies. American schools stopped teaching German. Foods with German names were given new ones. People called hamburgers Liberty burgers. They called sauerkraut Liberty cabbage. They even renamed dachshund dogs Liberty pups. So all these things are German. German Americans became fearful. Others often treated them with unjust cruelty. Sometimes they were accused of even being spies. Many worked hard to prove their loyalty to America. And we'll stop there for today. I'll see you next time.